this could
The
be
cult
someone.
members, yeah.
Yeah, they could. This is what the upside potential is there. I just think people shouldn't ignore, maybe the downsides, and
for
they're
sure.
always there.
I absolutely have that bias against cannabis though, because I was raised like I'm only 19, so like I was raised on the level like weed is the same level as like meth. Like that's how I was brought up.
You buy this stock, you're basically Heisenberg, right?
Yeah. So like
exactly.
I mean, it was only a few years ago where it was like kind of normalized, and it wasn't like you saw somebody smoking weed in middle school, you thought it was like crack or something. But now it's like becoming way more legalized, and I think like something that's really comforting to me as an investor with like the CEO Raj Grover, like he said that he won't go into the United States if it's not going to be good for their business or creative. So like that makes me a lot more comfortable. And then obviously Germany and Canada, probably the big two markets you're looking at for future cash flows.
Yeah. Also, in one of the recent investor presentations, they specifically outlined their acquisition strategy, because you mentioned that some of their earlier acquisitions you felt like maybe they were just doing it to do it. One of the key points of that was that they only plan to make acquisitions going forward that they think will be immediately accretive to free cash flow. So that's like one of the things that they have sort of committed to on paper in the investor presentation.
Yeah, I think
don't
they
know
made
which
major
quarter,
there.
but it was sometime in the last year or so when I first started covering or watching it, and I saw that and I thought, okay, I like that. Seemed very shareholder friendly to me anyway, is how I read it.
Yeah, I agree.
So is there anything holding you back still from buying High Tide? Obviously just the
I think it's just it's on my watch list. I could definitely see myself owning it.
Have you ever talked to Blake Downer?
I have not.
So that's the thing holding you back. He's got to get Blake on.
Yeah, I don't know if I need someone trying to pound the table on it, but I think I just have to look at like say my least, like the holding I have the least conviction in and compare it, and maybe I'd switch it out. But right now it's on the watch list. I could easily see myself buying it. Just not right now.
No, I don't blame you. The cannabis and like general tobacco thing, I was very wary about it. And like I initially bought it as like a small kind of gamble position, but like the more I get into it, the less I feel a little scared it's a cannabis company. But Ryan, are you what are your thoughts generally on High Tide, and is there a future where you could own it, you think?
Maybe, but potentially. The only part is beyond just like them operating in the cannabis industry specifically, it's also in the Canadian cannabis industry, which is just like I don't necessarily know all the rules, and it's kind of a steeper learning curve. The rules are so convoluted in the States to begin with that I don't know them here either. And I will say, if they did ever expand into the States, I think that'd probably be quite a red flag, because the markets are very like the rules do not favor cannabis operators here. And so I think maybe it's like Brett, I think seeing a lot of the failures that have come out of that cannabis boom that I think occurred in like 2018, it's kind of just deterred me. And I think unless you know the business really, really well, which I haven't done enough digging, it's really hard to build conviction in something where there's been a lot of companies that have kind of just really run themselves into the ground. So it's also on my watch list. I actually walked by a Can of Cabana recently and tried to get some anecdotal evidence. I think it was too early. The store wasn't open, so there was no value there. But it looked cool. And I do like the idea that there's sort of this ambitious operator in what's kind of the very fragmented market